Good afternoon, everyone. My name is LaShawna Williams, the Success Navigator, author, speaker, and career coach. I am also a finance executive and CEO of Women's Journey to Success. Yes, I am what you would consider a parallelpreneur. I work a full-time job while owning and operating my own business. This is why I am so excited to speak to you today about making the transition from paycheck to purpose. What if I told you that over 70% of the workforce are disengaged and dissatisfied with what they do? Just think about that, 70%. That's a large number. By a show of hands, how many of you would like to discover the profession, that career, or that business that is aligned to your passion and purpose? How many of you would like to do what you love and love what you do? Let me see. Okay. All right. That's almost all of the room. So I'm in the right room. I'm in the right room. Can I tell you a story? I'm going to take you back to a time maybe 20 years ago. Just go back, kind of just let your mind go 20 years ago. I just graduated from college, ready to take corporate America by storm. I wanted to be a CFO. Yeah, I know. What was I thinking? I didn't know what it entailed. I didn't know what a CFO really did. I just knew that this was a dream of mine and I was going to get it no matter what. I was determined to climb the corporate ladder, which I did. Into the workforce, eager and hunger to, like I said, climb the corporate ladder and rise to that level of CFO. Started out as a temporary employee, then moved to a senior accountant. Then later, a couple of years later, I moved to an accounting manager. So I was rising, I was climbing that corporate ladder, and I was well on my way to getting that CFO title. I was well on my way to move into what I thought was my dream job, my dream title. And my promotions afforded me luxuries. I had a house, I had a car, I had a closet full of clothes, I had a dog. So in all intents and purposes, society would say I was a success. I had a bright future ahead of me. I was what corporate America called a hyper potential. I was, like I said, well on my way to that C-suite. So I should have been happy, right? No, not so much. I was unfulfilled. I was frustrated. I was unhappy, okay? I wasn't feeling all excited and happy about, my success. There was something missing. I was unhappy because the thought of doing journal entries and reading accounting memos for the rest of my life, and what I mean by the rest of my life is till I retire, made me unhappy. I was like, the thought of it, oh my gosh, for real? I was frustrated because I wasn't the best accountant. Yes, I got a degree in it, I excelled in it, but I wasn't the best at it. And nor, let's be honest, I didn't enjoy it. And I was unfulfilled because there was this gnawing, burning or desire inside of me that just said that I needed and wanted to do more. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to do something beyond the spreadsheets and the debits and the credits. And so in my journey to seeking fulfillment, I started volunteering to do different projects. I started becoming a mentor. And slowly but surely, I was mentoring 2 people, then 5 people. Then I started becoming a mentor in formal programs. And so I was mentoring maybe about 10 to 12 people. And I enjoyed that. And I see myself really getting that, the happiness and that kind of joy inside of me. I really love playing in that space. But the turmoil came, I'm an accountant. And now I'm over here mentoring and coaching and guiding people. How does that align? And after many, I want to say months of being frustrated, depressed, and just unhappy and thinking that I was, this was going to be it. I had to be an accountant or else. And I can play in this space a little bit, but that didn't make my heart sing. After doing this for a couple of months, I had to have a heart-to-heart. I had to have a heart-to-heart with God. I seriously did. Because I had to figure out where was I going? What was I doing? And would I ever be happy? And in my discussion, again, I had to have a heart-to-heart. In my discussion, I learned that I was already on the path. As a manager, as an accounting manager, I was already guiding, mentoring, and developing people. And now doing the mentorship and being a mentor to people, I was guiding, coaching, and mentoring people. And when I got that revelation, I was like, oh my gosh. I am doing what I love to do. And although my title doesn't necessarily speak to coach, HR, what have you, I was still playing in that space and I was fulfilling my purpose and my passion, right? And so I did this a little bit more. And eventually, I started my own coaching practice. So, do you want to know how I went from, Lord knows, this kind of being in that place of frustration, unhappiness, and being unfulfilled, to a place where I was confident about where I wanted to go, what my purpose was. And no longer was I in this space of paycheck. I was now stepping into purpose. There was 3 steps that helped me in making that transition. Are you ready to hear what those 3 steps are? Are you ready, really ready to transition from paycheck to purpose? Okay, so then let's go through these steps. And I say easy, but you got to do the work. So here goes. The first step, step number 1, self-reflection. Self-reflection is so important in your journey and in making this transition, because you really have to understand who you are and what you want. In this step, you will go through and figure out, what am I passionate about? What are those things that I love to do and I do without even thinking about them? What are the things that I want to do even if I wasn't paid for them? What am I good at? What are my strengths? What are my talents? And it's a lot of self-reflection, maybe taking some self-assessments, maybe doing some things, asking your friends, what are you good at? And in that time, you will unlock your passions and uncover your purpose. And then you'll be ready for step 2. Now, step 2 is self-exploration. Because now that we know our passions, now that we know our purpose, we need to explore. What does this look like? What does this feel like, right? So in this phase, or in this step, you would create a vision, because you really need to know where you want to go. So now that I know, what I like, what I'm good at, what my talents and my strengths are, then I have to know where I'm going to go. So for me, what that looked like was that I wanted to be a certified career coach. And so that was the vision. I wanted to empower and inspire women by coaching, speaking, and being an author. So for that, I had to become a certified career coach. For me, that was my vision, and that's what I wanted to do. And also in this place, in this step, self-exploration, you need to explore some things. Like for me, like I said, I mentored, I was in formal programs, I did projects, I also coached a few people to see what I liked, what I didn't like, okay? And then I had to play in that space a little bit more so I could feel comfortable in it, because this wasn't, I went to school for accounting. And so after the self-exploration, where you test, try, and repeat because you need to figure out what works for you, then it's self-accountability. Because you have to monitor your success. You have to monitor your success and monitor your mistakes so that you can adjust accordingly. And then you also need to get a group of accountability partners. Accountability is key on this journey and when you're transitioning. Okay? So again, key, the accountability piece. That you holding yourself accountable and you getting a group of accountability partners. So today, we talked about, or we went through the steps of transitioning from paycheck to purpose, from that job or going to the workplace and you're like, oh, I'm wishing for Friday on a Monday, to living and having a career that is aligned to your passion and purpose. We first spoke about the step number 1, which is self-reflection. Step number 2, self-exploration. And step number 3, which is self-accountability. So I know I have several coaching programs, one of them being Boss Academy. And in that, I take my clients through those stages, through those steps, and we go through a deeper dive and we get clarity and we unlock some of these things and get them on the path. And at the end of that, they get a transition plan or an action plan to help them map how they're going to go from here to there. Doesn't that sound great? So today we talked about the transitioning and hopefully in those steps, if you follow those steps, you will go from wishing for a Friday on a Monday to now every day being a Friday. You will go from, oh my gosh, this is just a job and I'm okay, this is all right, I'm cool, I'm striving, I'm living, I'm surviving, to I'm excited, I'm motivated, I'm inspired, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in life. I love what I do and I do what I love. If you follow those 3 steps, that is the feeling that you will get. So is that something that you want to feel? Do you want to go from frustration to fulfillment? If so, then please meet me in the back of the room after the speech so we could talk through what programs or what activities or how I can assist you in your transition. So before I leave, I want to leave you with a quote from Steve Jobs, who is one of my favorite inspirations, okay? And I'm going to read this off because I didn't memorize it and I don't want to do him a disservice. So